What's up, guys? ZRUS here, and we're going to be doing part 2 of this Type 53 refinishing. And today we're going to be doing the removing of the old finish on here and the remaining cosmoline that's built up inside and all around this wood stock. So what I've got now to use is the Jasco varnish and stain remover, and this stuff works fantastic. All you do is just liberally coat the whole stock with it and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, and it will eat all of the finish that's on here off and most of the cosmoline. Then what we'll do is we'll wash it clean with the mineral spirits, and that pretty much just washes all of your varnish and stain remover off of here, as well as any remaining cosmoline that's built up on to your wood stock. So let's go ahead and get started. What you're definitely going to need is some gloves and maybe an old rag to apply the varnish and stain remover. So let's do it. Alright, so now we'll just go ahead and start the rinsing. And for right now, it doesn't really look like, interestingly enough, that it did much damage to the stain and finish that's on here. So we'll see what it looks like whenever I start dumping this mineral spirits. This stuff has usually worked pretty well on all the 9130s that I've done, which is about 2 or 3 now. So let's see what this does whenever I start rinsing most of this off. Alright guys, so I got this outside sunbathing now. I've wiped off all of the extra stuff that was laying on there with a dry old rag. So we're going to let this sunbathe and dry out, and then start the sanding process, and hope that we can get some of this finish off, because I'd like to have my own finish on there, not this stuff that's on here right now. So alright guys, here's what we got so far, and most of the majority of the heavier stuff has come off, and so what I'm left with is this. And so I'm going to start the sanding process to start getting rid of some of the nastier stain that's on here, to bring out just the wood so that I can get my own stain on here. And we're going to be starting out with some 150 here, and just general purpose sandpaper. And I'll give you an update here in just a second. Alright guys, so here's what I got so far. And I've only done just the wood stock area back here, the buttstock. And I've only done one side, and I've come to the conclusion that I really need a lower grit sandpaper. Because all I'm pretty much doing is buffing this thing right now, which is not what I want. I want to get rid of that and make it look just a little less crappy back here. So I'm gonna go to the store and get some lower grit sandpaper, go over it, and get a better outcome. So 60 grit. Let's see how this works out. So here's what you get whenever you start using 60 grit sandpaper as opposed to 150. So if you're wanting to get some of that, like the stuff that you can still see, I'm not done up here. This is untouched. So you can see what the color used to be. But if you want to get most of the majority of this darkness off of here, you're going to have to sand a lot deeper. Now I don't know if you remember, but see how dark this is? The whole area up here was this dark, and to get rid of all of that is you're going to have to just keep sanding. So all of right here, you couldn't see any of these grain right here, but from using the 60 on there, 60 grit sandpaper, it's helped to knock down a lot of that stuff. So what a difference that makes. But I got a little bit to go, so as you can see, this is untouched, and this is what I've been working on. I'm still not done with this bottom yet, but I wanted to show just a little progress, so pretty cool, huh? Alright guys, so I've been sanding on this for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours now, and I've pretty much sanded away all of my markings, or the majority of them that I wanted to keep, but it's as smooth as a baby's ass right now, so it's just going to be really clean looking. And how I got this was, I went from 60 grit to 100 to 150 to 200, and all just a long continuing process here. So but it is just extremely smooth right now, really nice. So what I'm going to start working on now is this piece right here, and I'm going to try to
try to fill that in with the wood filler and then sand it off. And then we'll start the dyeing process of it, or the staining, I'm sorry. And so that's where I'm at right now, guys. Alright, so I've gotten all of the debris out of there, and I did that just by brushing it with this little brush here. And the next thing to do is to go ahead and squirt it in there, and then push it in there flat and sand it off. Try to do this. It's my first time doing this, so see how it goes. I'm just trying to squirt it in there as deep as I can, I guess. It looks like it's going to be brighter than the wood, so, but that's alright. Pretty much want to leave a lump of it in there. You don't want to push it down and leave a divot. You want to just get it level with the wood, so just going to smear it off there like so. A nice flat object like cardboard. Not that cardboard's the flattest thing in the world, but I think how that's going to turn out, I'm only guessing here, is that it's probably going to be just a slight divot, but I'm not that worried about it. It is still an imperfection, so, and this is a battle rifle. She's no beauty queen. Let it dry.
So this is where I stand right now, and we're going to end it right here with just letting that dry. So, but again, I think it's turned out alright. I think it's going to be a pretty promising project here. I think it's going to be pretty sleek. So this concludes part 2 of the Type 53 refinishing, and we're just going to let that wood filler set up and come back with the staining process. So pretty sweet, looking good. I am quite proud of myself right now. So hope you guys enjoy this little series so far, and I'm really excited to see how this is going to turn out. Here's a little sweet shot here just to see how smooth this thing has turned out. Look at that. I mean, it's pretty, there's almost no divots in there at all. That's not bad at all. That is going to be one huge imperfection, but you know what? Character. Give it character. So, alright guys, until next time, zombies are us.